नहमदुहु व नसल्ली अला रसूलिहिल करीम अम्मा बाद फ़अऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम. In the last lecture, when I was looking at these four constructions of this English sentence, I ended up making a couple of mistakes. The reason those mistakes happened was simply because my brain was thinking something else and my tongue was not going along with that thinking. So my brain and my tongue were not at the same wavelength. And just in case, I thought if some scholar ended up watching this video, I thought it was important to rectify those mistakes, and hence this addendum to lecture 1. Let's look at this sentence again. Hamid gave Zaid a book. We said at the time that in Arabic we can have 9 different constructions of this, and I used these 4 constructions to highlight the flexibility inherent in Arabic grammar. Clearly in English there isn't any flexibility, because if we change the positions of Zaid and Hamid in the sentence, then the meaning of the sentence changes completely, while in Arabic we can do that, no problem at all. So the first construction, Ata Hamidun Zaidan Kitaban, and the rest 3, the general meaning is the same, that Hamid gave Zaid a book. Although the general meaning is the same, but there are minor, subtle and significant differences between these 4 constructions. This is the default construction. This construction is used when the information is completely new. The audience do not know anything about it, and I'm going to tell them something which is totally new. I'm going to give them new information, so I'm going to use this default construction, and I will say Ata Hamidun Zaidan Kitaban. Hamid gave Zaid a book. On the other hand, if the audience know that somebody has given Zaid a book, but they do not know exactly who is the person who has given Zaid a book. So if I came to know, if my assessment is that that's what's going on, that's what they're talking about, and I'm the person with the information, so I will use this construction to clarify that confusion or that ambiguity among the audience. And I will say Hamidun Ata Zaidan Kitaban. It's Hamid who has given Zaid a book. Hamid, not anybody else, not Bakr, not Amr, only Hamid has given Zaid a book. If on the other hand my assessment is that the audience know that Hamid has given somebody a book, but they do not know exactly who Hamid has given that book, so I will then use this construction and say Zaidan A'ata Hamidun Kitaban. It's Zaid whom Hamid has given a book. So Hamid has given a book only to Zaid, not anybody else. And then the last construction, the confusion may be that Hamid has given Zaid something, but they are not clear what that something was. And I use the example of maybe somebody saw Hamid giving Zaid something and it was wrapped as a gift, and it wasn't really clear then. It may have been a book, it may have been a shirt, it may have been a jumper, for example, in that gift wrapping. So because I am the person who knows exactly what Hamid has given to Zaid, so I will use this construction, Kitaban A'ata Hamidun Zaidan. It's a book, not anything else, only book which Hamid has given to Zaid, okay, nothing else. So these are the differences between these four constructions in meaning. General meaning is the same, that Hamid gave Zaid a book. While we are here, I have looked at another sentence for you, and that sentence is Hamid helped Zaid. So in the first sentence here, we said we can have 9 possible constructions in Arabic. Here the number of words is less compared to the other sentence, and the maximum number of constructions one can have is 6. And in this case, these will be the 6 constructions. This is the default construction, Nasara Hamidun Zaidan. But these are all other possibilities. Hamidun Nasara Zaidan, Zaidan Nasara Hamidun, Nasara Zaidan Hamidun, Hamidun Zaidan Nasara, Zaidan Hamidun Nasara. So these are all possible constructions, and it will really depend what is happening, what is the ground reality, what is the history, how much people know, what are their knowledge requirements, what is the aim of the speaker, etc., etc. And the skill is then to pick the right construction from these. In Quran, in Quranic ayah, that has been done consistently with complete accuracy. But at human level, this is not possible. Humans can produce good writings, eloquent writings, such as Allama Iqbal and Shakespeare in English. But at human level, to do something like this consistently is not possible. And this is a big argument then in favor of Quran. There are people out there who think, oh well, this is not the word of God, other than Muslims. They say all kind of things. But then, because of this linguistic miracle, this is a linguistic miracle. The biggest miracle of our Prophet is Quran. Quran is a linguistic miracle. Every ayah is a linguistic miracle. The choice of the words, the choice of the constructions, whether a noun has been used, whether a verb has been used, because they could be used alternatively for the same purpose. But just like in a puzzle, you will have to choose the right piece which fits in, and that is not humanly possible. And that's why the challenge of Quran persists for over 1400 years. And the challenge is, bring even a single surah like this. If you don't think this is word of God, bring even a single surah like this, and nobody has been able to produce such a small piece of work, because we know there are 3 surah in Quran which has only 3 ayah, Surah Kawthar, Surah Asr and Surah Nasr, and nobody has been able to bring a small piece of writing which will be comparable to these small surah. So Quran has elevated rank. Quran is there, and all the other writings are somewhere here, and that's why after Surah Fatiha, what we read is Alif Lam Mim Zalikal Kitabu La Rayba Fihi. Zalika is demonstrated pronoun of distance. Zalika means that. So Zalikal Kitabu literally means that book, but all the translations say this book or this is the book. So why is that? Zalika means that, and haza means this. So Allah Ta'ala did not use haza. Let's write here. Zalika, that. Haza, this. So haza has not been used, and most of the time when something is mentioned at one place in Quran, one can find explanation of that in another part of the Quran. So you do not have to consult a tafsir, but that is not always the case. Sometimes some ayah are so complex that we will have to resort to some kind of tafsir. We'll have to get help from our scholars. In this example, zalikal kitabu la rayba fihi, this is the book, or this book, there is absolutely no doubt in it whatsoever. So that's the I have translated it in that way, and that is because of the specific use of the word raib. Raiba has been used here. Not raibun, not raiban, not raibin, these are also constructions of the same word. Al raibu, al raiba, al raibi, that's not the case either. Raibu, raiba, raibi, but raiba has been used, and there is a specific reason for that, why Allah Ta'ala chose this construction of this word, and we will inshallah go into that at a later time when we have learned quite a bit of elementary Arabic grammar. And if we start reading Ruku 3, then we see that word again. وَإِن كُنْتُمْ فِي رَيْبٍ مِّمَّا نَزَّلْنَا عَلَىٰ عَبْدِنَا فَأْتُوا بِسُورَةٍ مِّن مِّثْلِهِ وَادْعُوا شُهَدَاءَكُم مِّن دُونِ اللَّهِ إِن كُنتُمْ صَادِقِينَ وَإِن لَّمْ تَفْعَلُوا وَلَن تَفْعَلُوا فَاتَّقُوا النَّارَ الَّتِي وَقُودُهَا النَّاسُ وَالْحِجَارَةُ أُعِدَّتْ لِلْكَافِرِينَ. So وَإِن كُنْتُمْ فِي رَيْبٍ, the word there has been used, raybin. So, well, there is no doubt, which has been said right at the beginning of the book, but just in case if you have any doubt, then bring something like that. So that really means that every other writing in the world, in the universe, is here, and Quran is up there, and zalikal kitabu, the demonstrative pronoun of distance, has been used to show this elevated rank of Quran. So that is quite clear from these two ayah. Sometimes the scholars say that Zalika is also used just to show someone's elevated rank as a person is concerned. For example, in those people who know Urdu and Persian, apologies to those who do not know these languages, quite often when somebody introduces a scholar, they say Hazrat, Hazrat, this, and said so many titles. In Persian means that, and E is used for this. So they say Hazrat when they're introducing their scholar. People use the word Hazrat, that dignitary, or that Hazrat, but the person is sitting just next to them. So they use that pronoun of distance because of ta'zim, to give them respect, to show respect. So Scholars has given another reason for that. This is tafsir, really I don't know tafsir much. During this course, let us call this course, we are going to focus only on grammar, not tafsir, not tajweed either, because all of you know tajweed anyway. Some scholars say that the real book is up there in Lawh Mahfuz. So real book is quite high up, and that's why the demonstrative pronoun of distance has been used. Allah knows better. So don't be intimidated by this. Inshallah, you will know everything which I have mentioned. This is still part of the introduction. Sometimes people say things in introduction which may appear complicated, but we haven't really made formal start of Arabic grammar anyway at the moment. So don't be intimidated. You will be absolutely fine. It will be really easy to learn Arabic grammar. So with this, goodbye, and the next lecture we are going to address the topic of parts of speech. Bye for now. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik.